like its camera is oriented.
Yeah.
Like I think if it scoochified that way a little bit, like, yeah, okay, let's try that. Let's go with that, Chris. All right.
When we get the new area set up
Uh-huh.
for this, I'm going to put tape on the floor, and
That's
then
a good
I'll know
idea.
exactly how to do it.
Now,
I
see
saw
now,
that on
okay,
the-
now
yeah, it looks worse.
now look, see now, yeah. So see, you're
Yeah, okay.
I'm off to the side, and you're kind of in the middle, and there's a big gap. However, I think it's going to make it. Well, let's try it. So, one of the things that I strive for in these live streams, Chris, is that they're not so much that the video is awesome and the video quality is awesome. Thankfully, we've achieved that. It's not awesome, but however, I was talking with a buddy of mine yesterday, Dave Sullivan at Westwind Rifles. For all your rifle needs, think Dave Sullivan at Westwind. No, so anyway, Dave,
super catchy, by
right?
the way.
Yeah. So Dave is a buddy of mine, and he's builds like rifles to shoot really, really far in competition and things like that. Super cool guy. Anyhow, he said that that it was fun to listen to, whatever. But one of the things I like to try to do is set up these live streams so there's not a lot of downtime. So like you have to rely on the visual part. So I don't like, okay, let's look at this.
Yeah.
And then excuse me. Because I think that a lot of people listen to these in their car or like they're on their phone playing Tetris or whatever, and this is in the background. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah.
So, guys, let me know how you like. Do you appreciate the visual, or do you guys just listen to these? Are these just mostly audio, like podcast form? And every so often, something cool might show up, and if you're watching that, you can see it, and if not, you can imagine or use your imagination. I don't know. What do you guys think?
How does Joe Rogan do it? Does he have he has some visual stuff too, right?
Every so often there's a visual thing, but usually it's like, what, do I have something in my face?
No.
What, do I have something in my ear, on my hat?
It looks like you missed it, like this much of your.
Oh, I probably did.
Yeah, you guys can't see.
I often do.
I look over here and I'm like, Matt has half a mustache.
I often do.
Like you get distracted.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So I like to have these be audio exclusive or mostly audio so people can listen and enjoy. So anyway, Chris, how are you, sir?
I'm good, Matt. How are you?
After a little bit of I felt kind of puny on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. I tested myself for the COVID, and I am negative for the COVID. So remember last year or the year before, like nobody got a cold, like you just had COVID or whatever it was. So, but I don't have COVID, and but I kind of was feeling a little bit puny. So,
yeah.
Took some time off, and you took some time off.
Well, so I took Monday off.
Last time off.
Because we worked, the previous weekend. So I took Monday off. Came in on Tuesday. Worked all by myself.
That's not true though, Chris.
Because Joe Caswell came by.
Yeah, and in fact, if you're watching, I want to thank you for this cool thing that you got me. Joe got me a cool knife, and you got one too, yeah.
Yep.
And
I haven't even cut myself with it yet.
So these are actually really cool. Now, I don't know if you know this, but in each bag, they come with a penny. You know why they do that?
Yes.
You're supposed to give this to Joe.
Yes. So you can pay him for the knife.
Yeah.
It's bad luck.
Bad luck to give someone a knife.
Yeah. My penny is over there because I gave it to Joe, and then I said, "Hey, Joe, can I borrow a penny?"
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So these are pretty nice. So thank you, Joe, for getting us these knives. I don't know if they're Damascus.
They are. I looked them up, and they label them as Damascus steel. It feels like.
It looks. Can you feel the
etched? Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. So, well, it's a neat knife, and our buddy Joe got us these. So thank you, Joe, for the Christmas present. That's super cool.
Yep.
I owe you this. This is yours, Joe. So yeah, this is a neat company. Joe's into that. He's a Native American, and so he's into the whole like knife culture stuff of natives, and he's a cool dude. And so this, I think, like the penny thing is like a cool thing. So anyway, thank you to Joe Caswell, and Joe got one for Dylan McCurchie from Dylan Talks Tone too. Yep. So Dylan, next time, actually we've got to send a box to Dylan. Maybe we'll send him a knife from Joe. So anyway, Dylan, that when you get that, it's from Joe.
Extra case candy.
Yeah. Let's see. So Glenn sent us some strings for his guitar, and he says, I like the visual presentation, makes it feel like something is actually going on. Plus, and when you actually demo something, it validates the whole hour. So if it ain't broke, all right, cool. Dylan says, sweet. Thanks, Joe. Michael Beckloff is, looks like Brad Guitar Miller is live from a hospital room all week. Boo, that's a bummer. I hope you're doing okay, Brad.
Ruptured disc. Ugh.
Oh, that doesn't sound like any fun at all. Brad, I hope that you get feeling better before the holiday, before the Christmas. Chris, all right, I'm just gonna drink this beer. I'm just gonna do it. I'm not drinking a lot these days, so I'll have one.
Don't worry, it's Coors Light.
It's Coors Light. It's okay, probably.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think what I wanted to talk about today, Chris, was I wanted to take questions from the peanut gallery, and I have some questions for you, and I'm hoping that those questions will kind of prompt you to ask me some questions too.
Okay.
They're guitar questions. They're not like, hey, who cuts your hair?
So, seen anybody special?
Oh, mercy.
Why is everybody asking me that?
Yeah. So Chris, I'm going to start with something that comes up a lot. Chris, how do you feel about stainless steel frets? It comes up all the time.
My own personal preference is I've never played a guitar enough to wear out the frets, and I've had a few guitars for a really long time.
Yeah.
If that's something you need, great. If you think it's cool, great.
Yeah.
I don't want to put them on every single guitar for the few people who think they need it.
I couldn't agree more. We were, Dylan did a nice video about the Challenger Level 1.
Uh-huh.
And he put new pickups in it, making it the Challenger Level 1 loaded package.
Uh-huh.
And we were talking, somebody said, I want all my guitars to have stainless steel frets. And if, I don't know, Harley, whatever can do it on a Chinese guitar, then everybody should be.
Yeah.
I would bet you that there's stainless frets and then there's stainless frets too.
I think that's true. I also think, I think it's unfair to compare our guitar with an Asian made product of questionable,
dubious
factory setting.
Yep. Well, and here's the thing. Stainless steel frets are one of those things. Speaking of Dave Sullivan, I was asking him once about hey, Dave, should I get this? And he goes, what that's kind of like? It's kind of like when out in a field, there's a bunch of cows and there's a guy pushing hay bales out, and all the cows go to the hay bale, and they drive a little bit further, they push out another hay bale, and then all the cows go to that hay bale. I think it's like, so again, Dave, you come up a lot here around the shop, but I think it's kind of like that, like a couple guys at Guitar Center hear that Eddie Van Halen has it, so now every guitar has to have it.
Uh-huh.
And that's fine, but the simple fact of the matter is that most of the awesomest guitar stuff ever recorded was done so with fairly humble equipment when you get right down to it.
Mm-hmm.
And it is rare that it was done with stainless steel. I'm not saying that nothing was done with stainless steel frets, but you get the idea. However, anytime I say that kind of thing, people go, this one time I knew this guy and he did fine. But for the most part, I think stainless steel frets are super cool. If you're the kind of guy who can wear out frets as fast as, just say, Eddie Van Halen, then that's your playing style, you really wrangle the strings, fine, put stainless steel on everything. But this notion of every single thing I have has to last forever because I am that good of a guitar player that bull crap.
I like the idea that every single one of my guitars, meaning I have many and plan on getting many more. That's what that phrase kind of sounds like to me. You're not going to have time to wear out any frets because you're always getting new guitars.
Yeah. And that's what Wayne says that too. Just get a bunch of guitars and you won't wear out the frets.
Yeah. And wear the frets out. And the other thing is I've had guitars. I've bought guitars with worn frets that played great. Just because it's got a little tiny bit of wear on it doesn't mean, that it's new neck time or new frets or however you want to approach that.
That's a terrific
there can
point.
Be a little bit of wear on
you look at Jim's 57 Strat, which by the way is a real 1957, not a reissue. It's actually however many years old that is.
That many old.
70, almost 70 years old.
Yeah.
It's got fret wear.
A little bit. Not as much as you would think.
But everybody who plays it says, wow, this is awesome.
This is the best playing Strat I've ever played. Well, maybe that was part of what makes it play so good.
Maybe.
Those strings, those strings are all worn out. The other thing too, I haven't played a cheap guitar with stainless frets. I have no idea how good that fretwork is.
I don't know either.
There's places like Warmoth, press-in frets, they're really good at it. Yeah. And they don't have to do a whole lot. In fact, they don't do any fret dressing, really, any fret leveling and crowning.
They don't.
Is it a guitar like that?
Maybe.
I don't know. I mean, and until I can actually see and touch and feel and smell and taste these things, I'm going to be unsure.
Agreed. And unconvinced that I need to change what I'm doing.
Well, and unconvinced that it's really as good as everybody is saying.
Yeah.
Oh, they can do it on a $300 guitar. Yeah. Okay.
Sure.
Can you play that $300 guitar? How good is the setup on that $300 guitar when you get
who
it?
knows?
Yeah.
Well, there's some,
because you say it is doesn't mean it is until I see it and go, oh, by my standards, it is well set up.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to see. Yeah,
yeah. I need to see it, and I need to see probably more than one.
So there's some questions coming in. Lauren Court asks, "Have you ever painted a gold top using bronze powder?"
Yes.
Short answer for me, no.
Okay.
Have you done that?
Yes.
Okay. Long answer. Can you elaborate a little bit?
It was a lot like painting metal flake.
You just mix it into the
clear. Yeah.
Where'd you get the bronze powder? A key machine at Ace Hardware?
Yeah. I sanded a lot of keys. No, you can actually buy it.
Okay, who has that?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Okay. The cool thing about that is that then you mix it with lacquer and it turns green in places. And yeah. Okay.
Yep.
We've got some cool guitars that I want to do gold tops on coming up.
Yeah.
Couple of Challengers that I think would be cool in gold. And by the way, speaking of a couple of cool Challengers, we've got some neat stuff to show you guys tomorrow. One of them is a super cool level 2 Challenger that we're going to be doing in a kind of a series of, but we're still working out the details. We want to show you the first one tomorrow.
Yep.
And then is that green one going to be ready, do you think?
Yes, I believe it will be.
And then don't we have some other thing over in the rack over there that has it's ready to go, or is it the black one that Brian's coming?
I think it's that one. Yeah.
Okay,
but we might show that one off too.
And Brian Duncan is coming in, and so is Eric. And they're going to show off some guitars that they did in the workshop too. Yeah. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
It's going to be chock full of reveal.
So that's tomorrow. So keep your eyes peeled for that story. That's coming at you soon.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
Exactly.
Only tomorrow.
Aaron asks, what tools do you guys think Fender used for fret dressing, nut slotting before StewMac tools? That's a great question. What did anybody use before StewMac was a thing? Where did people buy guitar making tools prior to specialty guitar making? I know for a fact we made clamps. We made those cam clamps at Roberto Band.
Yeah.
There was a bunch of them there, but like they showed you how to do it.
I think he's asking mostly about nutting tools.
Well, yeah.
Nutting tools.
But I think
nuts for tools for nuts.
I think it was really driving at us. Where did they get that stuff? And I think there was a lot of that stuff was custom made.
Yeah. I saw one a long time ago at a guitar store. I saw somebody going at a nut with they called them
what are those things that used to clean out a welder?
That's what it was. It was welding. Welding tip. Tip cleaners or something like that.
Something like that.
And it was it was a series of little files for cleaning out welders and gas lines is what they said, which I think was all welding.
I would imagine that got used a lot in factories. Probably back in the 50s, they probably had special files that they had custom made or ground down.
Yep. I've seen more people have taken hacksaw blades and ground stuff down, and they probably a lot of that stuff.
Here's what I have seen. I saw a luthier do this in Boulder. I'm not going to say who, but I'm going to tell you it was not Wood Songs Luthier. It was definitely not them. And instead of using a specific file for each nut slot, and don't do this, what they did was they used a needle file V shape and filed little teeth in the nut. And I mean, I guess it worked, but it was really janky looking.
Good way to make a really sticky nut. Yeah. Yep. I'm sure they had some way of doing it. What I'd like to know is how did they make nuts that weren't super labor intensive?
That's a good question, and I don't know.
I don't know either, because I still don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Okay, hold on. I'm losing track of everything. Because Aaron asked another question about crud. Where did it go here? Aaron, I'm sorry, but I lost your other question. Will you ask it again, sir? And maybe we'll catch up. Mike Learn is in the chat.
Is he?
Yeah, and Mike, we're going to be showing off the guitar the guitar we're showing off tomorrow has a bunch of Mike Learn coolness all over it.
Yep.
It's like Mike Learn just came and like mic'd all over everything. Wow, you really mic'd this one.
Really,
so
pile of mic.
It's like covered. It's slathered in mic.
There you go.
Yeah. So anyway, that sounds tacky enough, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But I really, really dig it. I think you guys are going to love this guitar and be jazzed about it. And I think it's going to get your creative juices flowing for maybe what could be done with a Challenger Level 2 or something like that. Or maybe, what you could do at should we decide to do this, and this is kind of sets up the next level of question. If we decide to do like say, I think a really cool Mike Learn workshop would be the Super Strat workshop, where we take premium materials, body and neck from Steve at Maximum Guitar Works, which is awesome. We'll get like ginormous fret wire and put like super huge frets on them, genuine Floyd Rose trims, and then like maybe Dylan can do like humbuckers for us or something. And then you do a cool custom paint job on that, in like that 80s style with like, I don't know what the Mike, if you're still watching, talk about like what you people could do on something like that. If we decide to do it, we just got to figure out when we can do it. I think. Right. Okay. Question, Chris. Do you think that that would be a neat workshop? Sub question: what are some other workshops that you would like to see in 2024?
Yes, I do think that would be a cool class. The paint a Super Strat with Mike Learn class would be really fun. I think we've learned a lot in the last certainly year, but even 2 years.
Even in the last week, actually.
About classes we like that we think are the most rewarding, not just for us, but for the people who are coming out to take them. So right now I am digging the all-inclusive when you leave the guitar is ready to rock, and hopefully we'll have rocked here.
Yeah, I
classes versus the take it home and hopefully hopefully finish it.
Who knows if it ever gets put
together?
Because
and especially these last few where we've had time to really spend a little bit of time with setup and things like that, because that's all stuff that most people don't really know how to do. So that in some ways might be some of the most rewarding, and it's one of the things that you can reuse probably the most.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
In a lot of
Unless
ways,
you happen to have a pin router
stuff.
at your house.
Yeah. Or, how often are you going to get to paint a guitar? Or how often are you going to get, but how often do you, want to maybe tweak a nut?
Sure.
Or,
or if you come out here and
guitar
and
or
do
figure out or learn how to set up a guitar, or learn how to level frets and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So
all that stuff works at your house when you get home on all the guitars that you have at your house.
Yeah.
Because presumably you're not coming out here to build the one and only guitar you have. However, that has happened.
Yeah. But for a lot of guys, I mean, in this last class, two guys left with another guitar that wasn't the one they built in class.
Yeah.
Or ordered guitars, really, is what happened. So, yeah. One guy said that over the course of that week, he ended up with 3 guitars.
Yeah.
So,
how many did Zoltan buy when he was out here?
I think he bought
3 and then bought another 2 right after he left.
Yeah. But anyway, collecting guitars can be fun. So
Aaron asks this. I don't think this is a question that he asked previously, but he asks, what pin router jigs were game changers for you and new jig ideas that you'd like to try out or that you've seen? You want to take this one, Chris? Or you want me to do that one?
Go ahead.
That might be more directed at me.
Yeah.
I think one of the real game changer moments for us, there were 2 of them. One was our jet pin router has the ability to lower and raise and lower the pin. So if you use an MDF template that is 3/4 of an inch thick, you can have steps in that template. So that means you don't have to put one template on and then take it off and then put another one on to do something like, say, a control cavity and the control cavity cover recess. You can step the template to accommodate that and raise and lower the pin. Having said that, and that was a neat thing that we actually saw that on a Ibanez video where they were building the 25th anniversary Jamm guitar for Steve Vai.
Yeah, and it was the custom shop, which is
like one guy and some pin routers.
And some templates.
It was pretty cool, actually. But all of that stuff, as neat as it was and as much of a game changer as it was, all of that has been eclipsed by the Maximum Guitar Works templates with the off-body alignment pins. If you get those and you have a pin router, you just buy them. Try them. Buy the cheapest set that Steve has. And it's probably it's probably like a Telecaster. And you will be like, oh yeah, I see what you're saying, Matt. And you don't have to thank me, but you will be like, I never want to not use the off-body alignment pin things, because once you get those holes drilled, you don't have to worry about lining up your template with the center line exactly right, or doing whatever it is and getting the neck pocket to work with the tremolo route or whatever it is. All of that stuff, all that guesswork is taken out of the equation, and you can put templates on and pull them off and replace them with other ones. So you can do I want to do 2 humbuckers and a P90 in the middle, whatever it is that you want to do. It's super modular, and it makes putting templates on and off and pulling them back off again and putting them back on. It makes it a no-brainer. And I like to think, and I could be way off, I like to think that some of Steve's fit-all template sets were inspired by a conversation that he and I had. Now, Steve would have to tell you if that's true or not, but I like to think that that's something that I had a hand in helping him kind of come up with. If nothing else, I know I have R&D'd or T&D'd some template sets. Like, for example, the SG template set. He's like, here, try this. I've never used these before. See if they work.
Yep.
And
yeah. with the pin router, I think once you, it's as much about jigs and templates as it is, the actual pin router itself.
Yeah.
And figuring out, well, deciding, I want all of our headstocks to be 7 degrees.
Uh-huh.
How are we going to do that? Well, we're going to build a sled with a 7-degree clamping system.
Remember how we used to do it, where we would cut them and then run them over the joiner, and they were pretty close.
Yeah, and that's fine for for kind of one-off kind of things, but it's fairly tricky in comparison.
Yeah.
But the jig took a little bit of time. The truss rod jig took a little bit of time. The seemingly should be way scarier than it is. 3/4 roundover,
7/8
roundover. Yeah, that jig. Figuring all this stuff out is, that's as much.
And a lot of it just years and years of work.
Yeah. Well, and thinking of, how am I going to do this? I know there's a way to do this with that tool. I just have to figure out how I want to do it.
Hey, our
surprisingly doesn't do neck
neck outline, neck profile.
Neck outline. Let's say outline very well.
Neck perimeter outline. Not the greatest.
Mm-hmm. Do better with the table router there. So, and I guess maybe also knowing the limitations of the machine.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Brandon Kaminski is here. Brandon has been away from the shop for, I think, a year now, or a little over a year, maybe, or a little under a year.
A little under a year.
And he is doing so good at his new gig. I'm so proud of Brandon, and it's remarkable to watch him, move into a new field of endeavor, and he's really excelling and doing a terrific job. And Brandon, we come by the shop sometime again. Yeah. Drink our beer, drink of our Coors Light. It is our blood. Wait, eat of our cheesecake. Yikes. It is that's not. Anyway, but come by the shop, Brandon.
We don't have any cheesecake.
No, we don't. But remember the last time Brandon was here, we did have cheesecake. So, yeah. Okay. Somebody asks, 6-string kook sent us a super chat for $5. Thank you very much, my friend. And he writes, or he or she writes, I don't know if 6-string kook writes, have you ever put Firebird pickups in a Challenger? Short answer, no. Long answer, it has never occurred to us to do that.
Correct.
One of the most one of the most one of the best pieces of advice I ever heard anyone say was about how to make a Les Paul Deluxe sound good. And that was to pull out the mini humbuckers, which are very similar to Firebird pickups. And I realize they're not the same because one has a blade and one blah, blah, blah. But pull out the mini humbuckers and put P90s in it.
Okay.
I don't particularly care for the Firebird pickups. I don't, and I'm gonna lump mini humbuckers into that. Which is probably not fair.
Okay.
But I have a microphone and you're watching me, so I'm gonna do it. I don't like them. I think they sound kind of puny and they don't sound particularly cool. Dylan, if you're watching, you can expand on this. If you have the same guitar with, and it's easy to do, P90s, and then put one of those P90 trim rings and either a Firebird or mini humbucker thing into that guitar. They don't sound nearly as cool with the mini humbuckers or the Firebird pickups. They just don't.
Okay.
Now some people will go, well, I like that sound. Well, okay, you fine.
Yeah.
You like that, but also acknowledge that I don't like that. So that's why I don't do that. I like the sleazy way that that P90 sound through a tube amp and yeah. All right.
Yeah.
But boy, I kind of went down the deep end. Okay.
A little bit. That's a very, very specific pickup too. I mean, just the fact that it's called a Firebird pickup.
Yeah.
Because they put them in Firebirds. It'd be like putting Jaguar pickups in a Challenger, or Jazzmaster pickups in a Challenger.
Yeah.
It's a very specific thing versus pickups that are a little more universal. Lots of things have had P90s. Virtually everything's had a humbucker in it.
Yeah.
So even Filtertrons, there's lots of guitars that have had those. So
Filtertrons are really excellent sounding pickups too, and to my ears, which
I think they kind of cross that P90 humbucker thing a little bit more than, well, obviously a humbucker. Yeah.
Generally speaking, I don't like Fender single coil pickups.
Yeah.
I don't like humbucking pickups that are crammed into a Fender size single coil pickup.
I really don't like those.
I don't like super MIDI mid-range sounding pickups. I don't like muddy, overly aggressive sounding pickups. I like to hit the amp with whatever pickup and then goose the amp. So I guess, I come down to, I like P90s and I like humbuckers. I do like the Mosrite pickups. I like Jazzmaster pickups. You know what I really like though are those Charlie Christian pickups. Gosh, those are cool. I didn't think I would. I love the look of them.
Yeah.
And those Pete Biltoff ones are super cool. And if Dylan ever decides to make one, which he said he would not.
Yeah.
But yeah. Tom Lenardi sent us a super chat and says, "Hey guys, just wanted to say hello." I'm sorry, Tony, not Tom. Hi Tony.
Hey Tony.
Thanks for hanging out with us, and thanks for the super chat too, man. That's cool.
Yep.
Okay, Aaron sent his original question again. He said, regarding Fender's sideways fretting, that is to say, pulling frets through the fretboard. He said, did it eliminate some fret dressing by not using the hammer?
That's the only thing that I can think of. Yeah.
Now, okay. And okay.
And they were pretty hush hush on that. I don't know that well, there's somebody that has to know exactly how they did it, but it's not really common knowledge. I've seen a picture of the device they used. It seems it must have been fairly quick and fairly easy. I've seen a couple pictures, and this was during the early CBS era days, of a pile of necks and somebody attempting to repair them. And a lot of them you could see sprouted fret ends popped up on the ends and stuff like that.
So anytime you can eliminate a hammer, I don't care how you press in the frets.
Yeah.
If you take the hammer out of the equation and you figured out a different way to press frets in, pull them through, push them up from the bottom, whatever it is, taking the hammer out of the equation, bashing frets on the face of the fret with a hammer, regardless of the hammer. If you stop doing that, you will have less leveling and dressing to do. I think we can all agree that is 100% true.
Yes.
It is easier to press in frets with a fret press call, I think, than it is to drag them through the side. I also think that you get even and consistent fret pressing. We have really deep dove into frets here in the last many years, and we have landed on something that the way that we teach fret installation, it's not perfect every time. When you first start, expect there to be a handful of tall frets.
Yeah.
But after you get good at it, you should have very, very little, if any, leveling to do. In fact, the only leveling that you should have to do is I'm going to run this level over it just to make like a level file or abrasive paper with a level on it. I'm only doing this just to make sure that I don't need to level it.
Yeah.
and that's it.
Yeah, I think so.
But it's not like you can just sit anybody down in front of the press and go, here you go, here's how you do it, and then do it. It takes it. You kind of got to get your fret press arm
You got to
right.
get your technique down.
Like I have a calibrated fret press arm. I went to the National Institute of Standards and Technology. I had it actually calibrated, so I know exactly. It's like a torque elbow.
Well, my shoulder goes click.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Ow. Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think, Chris?
Yes. To which part?
About fret pressing and how long does it take someone to get good at it?
Well, I think probably a couple, 3 necks. It's one of those things like if you came in and you did, let's just say 3 necks in a row, you'd get faster and better at them, and by the end of the third one, you'd be probably okay at it. It's just. I mean, it's a tool, and you got to learn how to use it, right? Yeah. So from what I understand about that thing that Fender used to pull them in, one guy did them all.
Really?
Yep. That was his only job.
He got good.
Real good at pulling frets in from the side. Yeah. So, and I still can't understand why they did it, other than it worked really well for them. And in those early days, they were, jamming frets into maple.
Yeah.
Maybe, it was just because they didn't want to have to hammer them in and dent them all up. So, because I have no idea how much or little. It's one thing to look at a 57 Strat now and go, oh, I see how they made this. No, you can't. And you can't tell what it looked like, when it was new. It obviously, they put the frets in, then they sprayed the color or the lacquer over it.
Yeah.
Did they grind all that lacquer off? Probably not. It was pretty clear, and it yellowed later. And people, there's yellow lacquer all over the frets. Well, it wasn't yellow when the guitar was
wasn't yellow
new.
when they started.
And they do a little bit of leveling and polishing, and there you go. There's the guitar, and only later did you maybe clean this stuff off or whatever. That was just the accepted way that guitar looked.
Yeah.
So who knows, what they look like. It'd be cool to go back in time now, take the old DeLorean out and see what a brand new 57 Strat looked like the day it arrived at whatever music store and hardware store you bought it at.
There you go. Cecil asks, Seth Lover gets the credit for inventing the humbucker, but did Ray Butts actually do a humbucker first? Chris, this is all you. I have no idea. First of all, I don't know who Ray Butts is.
I know Ray Butts from the Echophonic amp that Scotty Moore used, that had an echo tape echo built in.
Okay.
I think he also did the Gretsch pickups, the Filtertrons.
Okay.
I'm not as up on my Ray Butts stuff as I should be. Maybe he did. I don't know. It's another one of those things too, where there's a lot of smart guys, and they're all kind of, working towards the same thing.
Well, so
wouldn't it be cool if these didn't, and
wouldn't it be cool?
The idea of getting rid of 60 cycle hum, other industries had to deal with that before guitars did. And it probably just took one guy from another industry to figure that out.
This sounds like a perfect question for Doug Cower. Guys, if you want to know the answer to that question, please contact our good friend Doug Cower at Cower Guitars. Tell him Matt from Texas Toast said, hey, Doug, Matt said you would know the answer to this.
Yeah, and keep bothering him. Keep pestering him. Yeah, if he says he doesn't, he does. He does.
Okay.
Did I get any of that right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's see. Chris asks, what is the best first class to come to? That is a terrific question, Chris. I would tell you that anything that you walk out of here with a complete guitar, that's like you walk in with whatever you walk in with, but what you walk out with is a guitar that has been assembled or built, assembled, shaped, whatever it is that you do, because we have lots of workshops, painted, assembled, strung up, and you can plug in and play it. That's the best first class for you. So one of those would be the the Les Paul class that we just did would be great. We had a guy who has been out here. Rod has been out here 4 times before that, and we had a guy who's never been out here before, Carlos. And Carlos is like, he doesn't even play. He's like, I just want to learn. And then we have Nathan, who's never been out here before either. But so one guy who's built 4 guitars with us before that, so 5 total, and 2 guys who've never been out here before. All of them made really cool stuff. I would say the $9,000 Strat workshop, awesome one to do, because you walk out with
$9,000.
No, that's right.
Look it up.
Or the 52 no-caster class would be a great one to do. The one in March with Dylan, the Batfish with Dylan, which is kind of turned into Ultimate Guitar with Dylan. What you start with, you kind of get to build whatever guitar body shape you want, but it comes with a telly style neck and you wind pickup. So that's cool. I would say any of those would be the one I would recommend.
Well, and depending on your skill level or your interest level in some of those steps, you know, if the ultimate goal is to leave with a finished guitar, if you're just consumed with how do you make a neck, then there might be another class. Or you know, I really want to use, you know, I really want to make a bunch of sawdust. Okay,
I have a series of questions for you, Chris.
Okay.
What if all I'm interested in is how to make necks? What workshop should I take?
The woodworking class.
What if I'm really into Strats? What class should I take?
The Stratocaster class.
What if I'm really into Tellys? What class should I take?
The Telly class.
What if I'm really into Les Pauls and nothing else will do? What should I do then?
The Les Paul class.
All right, here comes the last one. This is a sideways one.
Okay.
What if your favorite guitar and you want to make one just like it is a Paul Reed Smith double cutaway carved top? Then what do you do?
Then you might want to look into our soon to be announced Les Paul double cut up single cut.
Nope.
Oh, I meant PRS.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I have Les Paul on the brain.
I know. I do too.
PRS class.
So this is another workshop where it's going to be like the Les Paul one.
So many Pauls. The problem.
Yeah, so many Pauls. So this workshop will be like the one we did last time. You will show up and I think you'll bring whatever pickups you want, right? I don't know what bridge we're going to use for that. We could go a couple of different ways. We could try to get a bridge that looks like a Paul Reed Smith, or we could get the man tremolos.
Yeah.
Which would be bucks.
Yeah.
They're money. But I could call the guy and see if he could, hey, I want a dozen of them. And maybe we get a deal. I don't know. So anyway, let me know what you guys think. This is one of the things I'm trying to figure out. Like, we're ready to announce that we're going to do it. We got to figure out when we're going to do it. But I want to figure out, like, do you want humbuckers in it? Do you want P90s in it? What bridge do you want to use? Obviously, we're not going to buy Paul Reed Smith tuners, or we're not going to buy Schaller tuners and grind an edge down and then put a sleeve on it that locks it. So there's going to be some things that are going to have to be a little different.
Yeah.
Personally, I think Hipshot everything would be pretty excellent.
That's what I think.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that stuff is.
Let me know what you guys think, and we'll see if we can't make that happen.
Is the way to go.
Okay. Let's see here.
I'm gonna get another soda.
Okay, get a pop with foam on top. Oh, you know what? I can use the mouse to kind of steer this down here. Yeah. Dave Anderson says the fret press was life-changing in the workshop that he took. One of the first things I bought after my class was the pressing calm.
There you go.
It's true, man. You get away from that hammer and you will be happy.
I was watching somebody put frets in the other day with a hammer, and it was just it was a big hammer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter if you use the brass end or the rubber end or the hard plastic end. It's probably the wrong tool.
Lauren Court says man-made. Yeah, that would be a cool way to go. But then what do you do for tuners? You're not going to be able to get. I don't think you're going to be able to get. I'm going to steal a term from a different industry. Clone correct pieces.
Yeah.
For everything on the Paul Reed Smith. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, Brad says Goto makes a good wraparound adjustable bridge that looks just like the PR. Yeah, I mean that would be a cool way to go too. But anyway,
if you're doing a wraparound.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know. I think what's going to have to happen is just like any of these workshops, we have to make 4, 5, or 6 of these things before we're ready to show everybody how to do it.
And I think you have to settle on the one true and holy that you're going to try and kind of replicate a little bit, right?
Yeah. Well, that's just it. These will be 24 fret classic PRS double cutaway. They're not going to be the 519. They're not going to be a weird scale. They're going to be 25-inch scale. They're going to be this, that, and the other. They're probably not going to have bird inlays. They're probably not going to have a lot of the stuff that the PRS has.
Yeah.
But you'll get to make it, and you'll get to.
Yeah, I mean, I think you want to cop the flavor of a PRS, but if you want to make a PR, just go buy a PRS.
There you go.
Add something slightly different to it.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do all turtles.
All turtles
on the inlays. Yeah. I really like turtles, grasshoppers.
So
ladybugs.
those are good. So Chris, Christmas is right around the corner.
It is.
And you and I took all of the toys. There's a big hole where all the toys used to be.
There sure is.
All of the toys were delivered to Ruth Ann.
Nope. You said Mary Jo, and that wasn't it.
The lady at Toys for Tots. I have her. I took a picture of her card.
Yep.
She's working in conjunction with the Marine Corps at Toys for Tots at the distribution thing where you go and drop off all the toys. Mm-hmm. We did a short video where we're dropping off the stuff, and I'm super. What do you think of? Okay, Chris, when I came to you with the idea that I stole from James Yeager at Tactical Response in Camden, Tennessee, to do Toys for Tots as part of our something that we normally do. How many years have we done it, and what did you think of that idea?
Third year that we've done it, which means we started it about 4 years ago.
I guess so. Huh?
Yeah, that first year we didn't. We had maybe 6 months worth of toys.
Yeah, it wasn't a full. That. Yeah.
But it's really cool. I've been kind of blown away at how much everybody has participated in that.
Yeah.
And not just a toy, but a bunch of toys. Guys show up to class with a big bag of toys.
Yeah.
Or a bicycle or a whatever, and that's really cool. And I thought this'll we'll do it for a little bit. And then
I didn't know what to expect.
And but you kept pushing it, and people kept bringing them by, and people that even guys that haven't made it to a class in a while or
have never come
have sent us toys for the toy thing. So it's really cool. And man, I was putting toys into boxes today. There was a lot of toys in those boxes, and you can watch the video, and we pretty much filled up the back of Jim's truck with toys, but in some of those boxes it's hard to tell. There's a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, there's bags full of toys and boxes full of toys.
20 toys in that box,
and
that's really cool.
So and remember, we just delivered the toys. You guys donated the toys, and so thank you to all of you guys for bringing in toys for Tots and helping us do something that makes us feel good too. Chris and I put toys in there too, but what I'm driving at is that you guys did the lion's share of the work.
And really, it was the toys that we brought in.
Well, it's
here you go. Here's some toys.
It's way more of a thing when you collect toys from how many like
well,
we had
I was
what
thinking about that.
14
So
workshops?
we had 12 or 14 workshops, and most of
half
them
a dozen guys,
6 guys. Yeah, let's say that. And then you add. So I figured 80 guys.
Okay.
Yeah, 85 guys.
And some guys like Doc came out last weekend. He brought more toys, and
yeah, and every
Dave
time
brought
they show up, they bring more toys.
Yeah.
And so maybe 100 people brought toys, and so even if it was one toy each, which it wasn't, it was way more than that. So we probably gave 200 or 300 toys away.
It was really, really cool, and I like doing that, and I hope you guys like doing it too, because we're not going to stop doing that. That's kind of one of the things that we do. So thanks for helping us make that happen. And if you want to donate to Toys for Tots in your area, I'm sure it's easy to do. You can, there's boxes all over town. You can go and put toys in there, and you don't have to send them to us.
No, you don't have to do that. And you can even go to like the St. Jude's website and buy a toy off their list.
Yeah.
Or sponsor that toy, pay for that toy that they're going to get for somebody. So there's lots of ways to do it. You don't even have to leave home.
No.
You can do it right after this.
The only thing, that's right. The only thing you don't get by not coming out here is I won't yell at you if you show up on day one and don't have a toy in your hand, because I do. I will go all kinds of DI on you if you show up. I think my current thing is I can't help but notice you don't have a toy in your hand or something like that is what I say to people.
Yeah. Guilt them into going.
The
next day. Well, a lot of guys fly in they don't fly in with the toy.
Yeah.
And then they space out going to the store and getting one.
Sure.
But
fortunately there's stores here
that several people comment with I was just at Walmart getting a toy.
So
I would have been here earlier, but I went to Walmart to get a toy. So
Chris, is my final question for you tonight. And I just thought of it. I kind of get a little bit I have a more aggressive teaching and instructing style than you do. Do you think that people do you think that turns people off, or do you now keep in mind that originally this all started as me making sure people don't cut body parts off. Then it kind of morphed into me getting Arlie Ermy on everybody. Do you think that people think it's funny, or do you think people think that they're turned off by that?
I think once they get to know you, I think they're a little taken aback. I think you now it seems like you kind of baby step into it a little bit more. Start off with that. And I made the mistake in this last class. Somebody, Carlos, actually emailed the group. We had a group thing going on, and asked what time class starts.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I'll answer this one because I think you were busy or whatever. And so I said, class starts at 9:00. We'll open the doors at 8:55. Feel free to arrive early and talk to the other students in the parking lot, but
I didn't
open the doors.
I didn't personally think that was like that awful.
I didn't either, but he kind of took it as oh shit, so and then Rod chimed in with, I'll get there at 9. Which so I said, Rod knows we don't open the doors until a few minutes before 9.
There are a lot of things that need to happen in the shop between 8:30 and 9,
especially on Monday morning.
And
depending on how things are going, either we won't get here till a few minutes before 9, or we'll start letting people in a little earlier every day. But there has been classes, and I'm not looking at anybody in particular, where no matter what time you and I get here, there's somebody in the parking
half hour before they're waiting,
ready to come in. And you get out of your car, and they get out of their car, and they're like, "Here we go." And you got to slow them down and go, "Whoa, you can't." We're not ready for you just yet.
Hold on, I gotta get my coffee.
And
I gotta get my whatever.
Whatever. I gotta make sure all the stuff is out. I gotta
Yeah.
We got to make sure that we're on the same page.
And it's usually Driddle. I mean, let's just, it's usually him. So yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's not. But he's right here.
Yeah.
So, you know, I missed Driddle at the Upright Lounge on Saturday. And I guess he and his daughter come by the shop on their way out of town. Oh, I missed them. Yeah,
no, they came by here on Saturday morning. After the Odyssey party, brought donuts, checked everybody's stuff out, stayed just long enough, didn't get in the way.
Okay.
And then they had stuff they were going to go do.
Okay.
And then at the end of the night, Driddle came over to the Upright.
Okay. I missed him both times.
Like life depended on it. I've never seen two more aggressive dart players in my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and that was fun.
Sean Joint said he didn't know when class started, so he showed up at 7.
There you go. See? Yeah.
Bobby Dill sent us a super chat. Bobby, how are you doing, sir? He says, when you yelled at me, at least everyone else got a break. Every so often, now I don't, like spew out vitriol like a drill sergeant, but I try my best. So yeah. Brad Guitar Miller says, both of you have a great techniques and styles. Learned so much from that 1 week. It was great. Thank you so much, Brad.
Good.
Driddle says that he had a good time at the Avs game and that Anthony Ike Evangelo is amazing at darts. Bobby Dill, when are you going to come get your white Limba Challenger? Whenever you are ready, sir. We're here. Maybe after the holidays. Probably. Yeah, maybe he's got probably stuff happening, and then it's weather. And
and all of a sudden it is the holidays. I mean,
dude, right?
Yeah, we had a class at the beginning, which didn't really feel like the holidays, but now, I'm like, shit, it's
absolutely
10 days away.
Speaking of holidays, guys, if you're thinking about something to get for the guitar builder on your list or the guitar player on your list, I urge you to check out any of the sponsors in the description below. If you work with some of the people, we get a little taste of that. So like Stuart McDonald, Dylan Talks Tone, Maximum Guitar Works. Help me out here, Chris. Tonewood experts, Bitterroot Guitars, even Howler Brothers clothing. And they've got those cool bags. Any of that stuff that I know I'm missing some. They're all in the description below, gang. I'd go through the whole list, but we're running out of time. Sometimes we get a little taste of that. Sometimes we don't. Any of these stuff from StuMac, we do the Dylan McCurdy stuff. Thank you, Chris. We do. I would have been in the hot seat. Texas Toast now has gift cards. They're easy to find on the website. I think it's like you can see them on the first page. You can just click on gift card, I think. And what are they good for?
Anything and everything.
So
you can buy a whole class. You can buy part of a class.
Mm-hmm.
You give somebody, a little money off their next guitar, whatever that person, the giftee, wants to use that gift card for. In any denomination, any amount, not denomination.
I think they're all $25 in so if you wanted to give someone $2,500, you'd have to get them 100 gift or whatever.
Yeah,
it's easy to do. It's not like there's an actual thing.
Yeah. But
Okay. Okay. Well, guys, Bobby said he had a plan on coming today, but the weather did not look good. Oh man.
Yeah, it wasn't overly nice.
It was kind of lousy.
And you'd had to go give toys away with us.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Joy says no. Any custom amount you want is available in the gift card thing.
Okay.
So I don't buy gift cards at Texas Toast. Yeah. So, all right, gang. Well, we are going to call it a night, and we're going to turn you over to the lovely and talented Leslie McCurdy and her old man, and some guy.
Yeah.
So we will see you tomorrow for a cool reveal. Please go over to Dylan Talks Tone and check out Dylan and Leslie over there and ask them who invented the humbucker, and ask them for Doug Cower's phone number, et cetera, et cetera. Chris, what do you think? You done?
I think that sounds like a great idea.
All right, gang. Well, we will see you tomorrow for a reveal, a super, super cool reveal. And until then, have a great night, everybody. Thanks for watching.